Tornadoes.
That was so bad. We're going to keep that in. But I want to see that. But let's try one more time so we can be synchronized, please.
Okay.
Okay, everybody pretend this is the first time you have seen this.
Bienvenidos.
To Straightforward.
Or not.
The only podcast that gives you straightforward answers.
Or not.
Or not. We're still figuring that out.
I know.
Today
episode
we
by
may.
episode.
We might. I
I'm
said
hoping.
that last time. Did we?
I know, we did, but we haven't figured it out yet.
Okay, got
To
it.
be determined.
To be determined. Okay, so tell everybody where they can find us.
You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, and TikTok. Comment, like, share, subscribe. You're
Yes.
not doing it. Why? Who knows?
Who knows?
It's free.
We welcome everybody.
Exactly.
Woman,
No discrimination.
men, non-binary.
Oh, I'm out on that.
He says that all the time, but he really doesn't mean it. Okay, moving
Moving on.
moving on. He doesn't, everybody. What are we going to be talking about today?
Fears.
Fears.
Our fears.
Fears. Not Sasha Fears. Do you remember
No.
that? Do you even know
I have
about
no
that?
idea who that is.
I knew you were going to say
Absolutely
that.
no idea.
That's Beyonce. That was one of her alter egos at one point
Oh,
in
I
time.
definitely don't know. That's Beyonce's like a
Who
different
you
level.
listen to?
Eminem, Nas, Biggie, Tupac. I mean, you have Logic.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God, I love rap, old school hip hop.
You're just trying to fit
EDM,
in. He's just
Forbidden
trying to fit
Kingdom,
in.
headbanging.
He's trying to fit in
Oh,
with
that's
the
a lie.
minorities.
I try to fit out. I'm not fitting in with anyone. I'm a lone wolf at this times. I don't even give a damn about fitting in anymore.
He's trying to fit in there, buddy.
He's a hater over here. We see how this goes.
I have a fear of what you're going to say.
Oh, sure.
We started the wrong way. Once again, welcome. Fears. When you think of fears, fear, not fears, right? It's okay. It's like I don't even know how to say fears. Like fears. Okay. What's the first thing that comes to mind? Actually, I
What are we
how
stopping?
accidents, but
I
then
know, you're
stopped.
going one and one. What's the...
The first memory that you have of like fear as a child that you were like,
Oh, man,
This
we're going
is-
deep.
yeah, that's how I like it.
See, that's a fear of mine, having to hear that.
Continue, please.
First memory of fear. It's being alone. 100%. I don't
Being a child.
It's not necessarily it's being alone in a relationship. Now, I've been with a lot of women. I've had a lot of experiences, and I'm very fortunate on everything. But finding someone that's compatible to a high degree and that I can make work is a challenge.
I get that, and I think we will get that too. But is that at a young age?
That
This was
is a
the
young
mentality?
age. Because it's never been as I grew up seeing other people in relationships and prospering and enjoying themselves and loving life. My first relationship wasn't until I was 24. And it's at a very young age being in that sense of like, look, am I worthy enough? Can I find someone to be with? And it's just, again, when you see it over and over again with other people in relationships, they're developing those habits, they're developing those patterns, they're developing this chemistry between two people, and you're not doing it. And it's year after year after year after year, and it just goes by and goes by and goes by. Then you start thinking about yourself in a negative way. Then you start going internally and saying, look, am I going to be alone for the rest of my life? And especially where I grew up, a lot of people got divorced and things happened. So the more you see that, you're like, oh, shoot, I could be alone. I could be terrible. And it gets terrifying over and over again. And then at a certain point, happily, it changed. But yeah, no,
At
that's
a young age, you felt that way.
a young age.
Wow, that's so interesting. My first fear that I remember having was actually due to religion. Yeah, to this day, I remember. And one of the things that I was scared of when I was a young child was actually thunder. Because to me, that reading the Bible and growing up in DR, I thought that when I heard thunders, that was God coming. And at a young age, I knew about, I wouldn't say so much about my homosexuality, but that I was different. And I knew that was like frowned upon. So I felt
You're like, God is striking me down right now.
yeah,
He's coming any second.
That's a good way. I was like going sad over here. It's like God is going to strike you down. You know what? I love that. How about you? Good for you.
Hey, he's not striking me down. I didn't have this fear. I'm on top of the mountain like Zeus. Shoot, you're the one getting terrified.
First you came for the nom and now for the gays. I can't with this episode.
Hold up, gays? What are you talking about? I said non-binary. That's a different level. Hey, look, choose your gender.
Stop. Leave it, please. Continue.
There's only one of us on the side of the table. But anyways, we're getting back to fears.
Yes, please. Back to the subject I am. Okay, and for me, that was one of like my first fears that I thought like, God doesn't like this. So if he comes right now, he's going to punish me. Or not punish me. It was in a sense like all my family was going to go to heaven and everything like that. And I was going to stay behind.
Oh.
So that was my fear, because when there's a lot of scripture that you read in the Bible, like when God will come, like all his children will come with him, and then the other ones will stay behind. So for me, that's my first fear that I felt like, oh wow, like I'm scared of this, in a sense. That's something that it was like real, because obviously you have things of like, I'm scared of the boogeyman and little things that happen at a particular time, but that one was something that kind of like stay in my mind.
Really resonates.
Mm-hmm. And then maybe later on, okay, so let's go a little further up, in a sense. How about like in your teenage years? Was it still the same fear?
I mean, that fear never went away. It still hasn't gone away.
Okay, then you got a new fear.
Yeah. Look, at a certain point, it started transitioning over to, are you successful enough, right? And I think that's part
As a teenager.
As a teenager.
Oh.
You got to understand, my upbringing was very different than yours. Obviously, part of the podcast is, I mean, my dad was a successful person on Wall Street. And
we're very different. I had a dad.
I know, right? I had a dad. His words, not mine, but still, true. And when you grow up in a family and a surrounding where everyone's very successful in their own way, and I'm not saying necessarily financially successful, but with their family, with their situation, with their job, with their career, it's terrifying. And you have people making other people tens of millions of dollars, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. And it's like, shoot, this is what I have to look up to. This is who I have to be. I'm the man of the household. I have to have these aspirations. I have to have these goals. And then you put so much pressure at a very young age, and you keep going and going and going. I mean, there's a reason I'm a serial entrepreneur and had 5 companies.
I heard serial. I was like,
no, not a serial killer. Serial entrepreneur. It's because it's like, look, you have all the pressure mounting on you. And it's like you see it from such a young age. It's like, okay, what do I need to do? How do I measure myself against them? How do I measure myself against all the other people? It's not necessarily saying, okay, here's the masses. It's like, these are my role models. These are the people I was growing up with. I have a certain standard in my head, and it's not healthy, right? I'll say it out. But you have that envision of where you need to be and where you need to go. And if you don't hit that, the fear just piles on. I had a conversation with someone earlier today, and we were talking about entrepreneurship, and it was like, yeah, it's your baby. And if it fails, you are just like, everything else is irrelevant. And it's crazy to think that, but the reality is, like, having a successful business, that's a relationship within itself, because you're married to that. You're dedicated. All of your time spent, when you dream about the company. When you're awake, you think about the company. When you're with your kids, sometimes you think about the company, or even your wife or husband or whatever relationship you're in, besides non-binary.
Jesus Christ, I can't.
I won't say it anymore.
Yeah,
but
please.
It just becomes this whole thing where you get to another level. Like, for example, when I went to Forbidden Kingdom, I'm saying that because it's on my shirt and just on the top of my head. And there was
it's on top of your chest.
On top of my chest. I apologize. They can look. See here? This is take that out. Do not remove the kiss. Remove the kiss.
Keep the kiss.
It's like I'm there at an EDM show for 2 days partying, and half my brain is like, okay, what can I do otherwise? What can I do for my job? What's the podcast? Maybe a potential another business. Like, how does that go through my head? So I'm in the middle of a rave headbanging, and like maybe for 20 seconds straight, like my mind doesn't even listen to the music. It doesn't imagine anyone around me. Like, I don't realize the 30,000 people surrounding me. I'm just in my head thinking about, okay, these are the next 10 steps I need to do. These are the next 20 steps I need to do. If I don't do these, I may not be successful. And it's like, I learned that at such a young age where it's still carried to me to this day, which is insanity. And yes, I'm partially insane. I understand that on every level. It's not normal.
No.
But it's also a fear. It's a huge fear. Huge fear.
I love
you
that.
are up next.
I love that. I'm good. Well, I'm so detailed, and he's just like, here's my whole life in 2 seconds. And I'm like, no, let's break it down. So, it's just funny. Like, I will go so deep, and then you go here, and then I'll bring it down. I swear to God, I'm not that moody. I'm really not. I feel like just compared to you, I come across so sad. So, for example, like in my teenage years, one of my biggest fears was, so there was a point in time that my mom, we didn't see each other a lot. We live in different part of the world. So then every single time that I saw her, for some reason I could tell the time was passing. It's different when you are with somebody and you don't notice the little details, but it's different when you see them and then like, oh my God, I see a little bit more of a wrinkle. I see a little bit more of white hair in your head. And because the last time you saw them, you take a pause, and then that's the memory that you have. Nowadays, it's much different. I'm a dinosaur. So nowadays, you stay connected in Facebook, Instagram, Facebook.
MySpace. By the way, MySpace was the best social media.
Back in the days, which is like pictures. You didn't have FaceTime, so you really, really had an image of who they were, the Snapchat, and then when you saw them again, then you will really see the difference of them and the aging process of life. So for me, I'm like, I feel like I'm missing so much. Missing so much of like seeing my sister grow up. I see so much of my mom getting older. That for me was like a huge fear of like, what it will be the next time I see them. Obviously that changed with time. They move over here closer, so I got to see them and be around them more. But that was a big fear of my other time.
I mean, that's a huge fear.
Into 20s. I don't know if your fears continue from the same one. How you felt in your 20s? You're like another business. And I'm like here, depressed.
Again, different lives, different paths, different journeys. I mean, obviously those fears have kept with me for most of my life.
Did you build anything new when you 20?
I know, right? Build a new business, build a new life, build everything going up again. I think the fear of failure, right? Obviously, it's similar to everything else, and it kind of it's congruent. But in the 20s of like, this was the peak of, I think, my first business. I think we started when I was 18, and now we're at about 21, 22. Is this going to work? Is this worthy? Is this not going to work? You know, the late nights, the early mornings, getting 2 hours of sleep a night. And it's hard to relate sometimes. I understand that, but in those moments, you just think about it. You're like, look, what am I doing? Do I believe in this anymore? I'm doubting myself. I've just taken 20 losses in a row in 3 days. I'm like beating myself relentlessly on the inside. And at the outside, I just look stressed, but you don't know what's going on. And it's just a continuous journey over months and months, probably actually years at that point of, is this going to work? Is this going to be successful? But I'm crazy enough not to stop because I believe enough, but I'm dumb enough not to stop because I think I want to go, and I love the self-torture at the same time. And it's hard to understand, and I understand from the outside looking in, sometimes it's really difficult because having that experience is challenging. And I would never recommend it. Even for entrepreneurs, I would still never recommend it.
Don't recommend.
But you get so down on yourself because you take, I don't know, maybe 200 losses to 1 win. And how do you move and navigate through that? And for me, it's like, there's a brighter day 5 minutes ago, or the next 5 minutes are going to be better. The next 5 minutes are going to be better. The next 5 minutes are going to be better. And it sounds brutal, but you're grinding it out and grinding it out and grinding it out. And happily, I had someone with me, a partner for the business, that made it a little bit easier, but it's still like grinding and grinding and grinding. And how do you get through that? How do you motivate yourself? How do you keep the discipline up to keep doing it when you're just getting slapped in the face every single second of every day? It's a challenge. It was a brutal challenge. Happily, kind of got out of that a little bit. I mean, it's still there, but you know, that is what it is.
Yeah.
Go through. Now your turn.
Let's go to
the 20s.
Let's go to the sad part again. For me, my biggest fear in my 20s was actually relationships. What I mean with that, not the fear of being in a relationship, but the fear of losing the relationship. I think due to not having access to my family at that time as easy as I wanted to, I was so caught up in wanting to build my own family, wanting to build all of that, that for me, I focused so much of relationship. It's like, okay, this is my chance for me to have my own family. This is my way for me to start my own home, my own environment, because at the time with the family members that I was with at that time was a really toxic environment that it was not good for my mental health. And for me, this is my chance to recreate my life the way that I want it. So I made decisions that were partners that I have at that time, or a partner that I had in my 20s, basically my whole entire 20s. And my whole fear was like, I need to make this work. This needs to work. This is my everything. This is my family. This is everything that I own. Everything. It's like you're putting all your eggs in one basket, and you need to make this work. It's no longer about yourself, who you are, what are the things that you need, what you require from a partner. It's like, this is what I have. I need to make it work to the best way possible, even if it's leaving parts of myself behind. And I think that was one of the things that was one of my biggest fears at that time. Then moving to my 30s, fears get even better. Do you want to say something about your fear? You see, I bring it down, you bring it up.
Bring it up.
Bring it up.
You know, we handle fears in different ways. You know, I think that's the mentality of, look, I've had a lot of fears. I've had a lot of failures. I've had a lot of experiences where, you know, fears slap me in the face, but you get it. It's like the Rocky quote. You get hit, I think, 20 times, you get up 21. And it's a different way of processing it. And most people don't think about it in the same way because, you know, it's a challenge. Fears are fears. But when you start breaking out of that comfort zone, fears exist every single day and every second of your life.
Yeah.
As for 30s, it's being alone again. Jesus, that thing just jumped right back up. I've had a couple relationships in my life, but it's like.
And your 30s, where did this relationship happen?
The one ended when I was 28. One ended when I was 32. One kind of almost blossomed last year. So it's like I've had 3 relationships, in my life.
Last year?
Yeah.
Oh, you had a situation. I didn't hear nothing about it.
It was, I guess it wasn't fully a relationship. It was 6 months, and I thought there was a lot of promise. And
it was a situationship.
I'm not going to say situationship because I think there was the dating intent. And I think with situationship, it's that in-between stage. This was from the beginning of this is what we're going to do. There's no one else outside of us. It's just let's build it, and then get to that point. And
build it, and it fell off a cliff.
It fell off a cliff. My business collapsed, and then the relationship collapsed. And we can talk about that.
Correlation to each other, or?
Correlation to each other. Because the stress at that point was insane on me, right? Like, you have a business collapse, you have $52,000 or $55,000 in debt, right? And then all of a sudden your relationship collapses too. And it's probably not the right person to be with, right? Especially if they can't withstand that situation. Again, very few people nowadays can actually withstand that situation. When your business collapse, your baby, you've worked 8 years on it, and all of a sudden you have all this debt behind you, and, you know, funding didn't come in, and there's 3 or 4 other family issues going on at the same time. And then all of a sudden this person just jumps off. I don't blame them, right? I'm not going to hold any grudges by any means, but I also understand that's not the right person for me, because if you can't withstand a situation like that, what's the purpose of being in a relationship?
And mine correlates to that. So in my 30s, obviously in my 30s, I got sick. And I have to start from zero. Everything in my life collapsed. And my biggest fear at that time, I just felt like that to me is like it's what I'm still struggling to this day. It's the fear of I need to take care of myself. I need to be able to be good. If something happens, I need to take care of me, because I feel like even though there are a lot of people that step up and help me, it's like you're in a boat here by yourself that you are on the same. And now you're just thrown into somebody's boat and you just get passed on, and you don't feel like you're in control in your life anymore. You just going whatever way you're being thrown. And to me, that to this day is still so traumatizing that I can't even explain it, because I have so much fears of not being able to take care of myself. Yeah. Not being able to do the things. That's why I can't spend money the way that I used to or anything. Because for me, it's like I never know what tomorrow has, and I need to be able to know that I can take care of myself. And to me, that's a huge fear that I have right now. It's like being able to take care of myself, depend on myself. And like you said, and the point that you were making, like at that time I had a relationship and everything felt, because not everybody, sometimes this is why I have a hard time when people are like good people, bad people. And I don't think it's about that. Some people are not meant to be there in certain situations. Like if you're drowning and then somebody else doesn't know how to swim and they don't jump in to help you, are they a bad person, or they don't know how to swim?
I think they're a bad person. Crazy, right? I'm straightforward on this.
Oh, you're very straightforward.
You gotta, if you're with the right person, they learn how to swim, or they learn how to find a boat, or they learn how to do that.
Okay.
But the issue is no one wants to do that anymore.
No, and for me, to tell you the truth, I feel like I was a little bit like you, and sometimes everybody just keep everybody in their thing. I have a friend that is for this. I have a friend that is for this. I'm sick and tired of trying to make people into something that they are not, that they don't want to be, for situations. That's like saying, like back to another episode with toxic environment. Sometimes I think we're toxic when we try to change people to things that they're just not capable of offering to you.
True.
They're not. That's not their thing. That's not their duty. So instead of trying to make somebody feel into a bad person, sometimes that's when you pack your shit and you call it a day. And you can. I have friends, and I have tried friends to try to make them into they're not. So I have friends that I talk, it's fun. There are friends I talk to, and they understand me more than I even understand myself. I could be like, oh, maybe I'm like, no, Jeff, you're just overwhelmed. Calm down. You're good.
It's huge.
And to me, that means so much, but that's also just holding people accountable to what they can offer you and not trying to make somebody else into something that they're not. That's why, referring back to another episode, and then you can go in and see if you have anything to say, because I'm over here yapping, is the fact of like relationships. This is why it's so important. That's like, I want somebody who understands me. Yeah, you may have things that like, oh, I prefer you to not do that. Maybe don't post this. Maybe don't like this. Because I feel uncomfortable. Not because it's like questioning me, myself, who I am as a person. Trust me and believe. If I'm with you, it's because I want to be with you, and I'm trying to make this work, because I gladly will be by myself a lot of the times. Not the point at hand, but
it's okay.
Continue on with the whole fear thing.
Well, let's go. One more last thing. I think we both have fears that what?
That would be great. Because we kind of said, but like, what is your fear right now, sitting right there? What is your biggest fear that keeps you up at night?
I think the fear of...
You say one more business and I'm going to hit you with this.
Well, I mean, I've had 5 businesses and I've done it. I'm done with businesses. Okay. It's a brutal life to have.
Sure.
No, it is. You work 70, 90 hours a week and you don't know if this is going to succeed, and you don't get paid for 2 to 3 years. And it's terrifying, because the amount of energy and effort that you have to put in and jump off a cliff repeatedly over and over again and risk everything when you have zero. Sometimes you have to go negative. Most times you have to go negative. It's terrifying. But no, I'm done with businesses for the time being. It's just, it's not what I want to do anymore.
Okay. How you feel about relationship now? Do you want a relationship right now?
100% I want a relationship.
Are you doing the job? Are you doing the work?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
No, there's definitely a lot of work being put in, and there's a lot of burnout, right? It's still the hangover from last year of everything that's happened and figuring things out and getting stability and straightening everything out. Having relationships for me is a huge priority, and it may not necessarily look at it from the outside from everything I'm doing, but there's a lot of behind the scenes work of understanding I'm at about 60% of where I need to be. How do I get to 100? And how do I understand what I need to do to get to that point where I am? Because you don't need to be a full person to be in a relationship, but you need to be enough out there and enough yourself and not stressed and not burnt out enough where then you can live and be free. And when you get to that point, then it's a different story. So yeah, fear of being in a relationship, 100%. I'm 34 years old, turning 35 next month. I know, old as shit. And it's coming up. It's coming up. Damn. It's coming up. So it's a huge fear. It's definitely a huge fear. But at the end of the day, it's like, look, I've had a lot of fears in my life. I've had a lot of comfort zones. I don't treat fears as most people do. I look at it as an obstacle, and I try to downplay it when I talk. As you can tell, I'm more of the upbeat on the fears. It's because if I downplay it, I give it the life. I give it the energy, and I give it so it can overtake me. When in reality is, if I want to overcome it, I have to make it so insignificant. It's just an obstacle. I can overcome it. Okay. I can step over this, and I can get to that next level, and I can overcome it in a manageable way rather than being overwhelmed and kind of engulfed.
You know what's one of my biggest fears right now?
What?
Currently in this point in time, one of my biggest fears is having people come to this podcast, watch, and not like, subscribe, and just be a ghost in a wall. And hopefully they can work on that so my fears don't come through.
I know.
But
don't create more fears here. Do
please,
not create more fears.
I'm traumatized enough already. Tell them where they can find us and what they can do so my fears don't come true.
You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Spotify. Find us, comment, like, subscribe, share.
Save my life, please.
I know, please.
Please. That's all? Are we good? Okay, peace.